The reason I'm sharing these two tales of illnesses is you could be in your own story here. You could be having some of those moments in the first one, like when I was dealing with my dad, where if you take that snapshot, like it's struggling, right? You could be struggling financially, you could be struggling with an illness, you could be struggling with a relationship, or you could be where it hurts, like it hurts. It is like a nerve that if you touch it, it's just so painful. And if you're getting to one of those spots and you're not talking or you're not dealing with this trauma that you're going through, it, you're going to keep feeling that much pain. And so much of your world is just going to get smaller. You'll probably stop hanging out, with other people. You'll stop looking and your world will start getting smaller and it'll start getting darker. You'll start having thoughts, bad thoughts, right? This is where people think about suicide. This is where people snap and go out on a rampage of whatever it is, right? Because that's their outlet. Their worldview gets so small that they just start getting scared, right? And fear starts consuming because it starts creeping in on the sides. And I just want, if you're going through that, especially from multiple habits, I want you to know it's okay. It is a time that you get to start working on yourself. And if you need to time out life, I need to work on me so I could show up. Like, this is where you need to start asking for help, whether it's with a loved one, whether it's a friend, whether it's, whatever it is, you need to ask for help. If you're grieving, grieve. If you're sad, be sad. Get it out of your system. Actually deal with it. Don't put it in a box, close the door, put a lock on it, and think it's going to be okay. No, those things build up. If you need to cry, cry. Do what you need to so you could get back and start one step ahead of the other. The way I started getting through that rehab is I started doing one little thing. Like, it became a win if I was able to replace one outlet. Like, okay, what's one step I can do? What is one item? But when that starts getting farther and farther away, you need to ask for help. Don't be ashamed. Don't be too proud to turn around and ask for help, whether it's a personal help, whether it's a professional help. But you got to make sure you deal with yourself so you could handle those other things, right? Because I've been broken, I've been rebuilt. Like, I am stronger now. I shared some stuff even through this talk that they're not my greatest days, right? Talking about businesses falling apart or relationships like, the reason I could share that now is I've built up. I used this phrase before and I really like it, but the scars of our past, right? So, my conversion story or my tale of two coaches, right? That's a big raw wound. Like here, the house I told you about that I'm basically melted in there, that's a big wound. The death of my dad, that hurts. That was a big cut. That's a scar. But as you grow personally, right? As you grow as a character, as a person, as an entrepreneur, whatever, those scars become your birthmarks of your new self, right? They're not defining moments anymore, but it is one of those like, hey, I have this wound. I made it. I'm okay.